In today's episode, the upmarket district of Knightsbridge has to come to terms with a terrible tragedy. London's second heat wave of the year really turns the temperature up. And I announce this week's winners of Guess the Fare with prizes. Hey, good morning, you crazy cats. It's Friday, the 11th of July, and we're moving into our second heat wave. It's going to be a very hot one today. Normally means I'm going to be busy because people just can't stand the tube. Lots of things have been happening over the last 24 hours. Some of them a little bit sobering. I'll be talking about that in this episode. Okay, let's get out on the road. And there were two winners for the last episode's Guess the Fare. They were at Jane Lowe 4530, an overseas winner, well done to you, and at Hugo Goodson-Q4Q7F. You were spot on with £67.20. If you guys could email me, send me your details, or DM me on Instagram, and a fine woven key tag will be winging its way to you. If you're wondering why I'm flipping between two pairs of glasses, one's for driving and one is for reading and close-up. So yeah, some of you eagle-eyed subscribers and viewers might have noticed that. Gonna head into West London like we always do, probably the Hilton Kensington, which is an old perennial of mine, and if I get anything before then, we'll just grab that and keep going. As I was talking about earlier, bad news in Knightsbridge, the fatality outside the Park Tower Casino. A gentleman aged 24 was robbed for his Rolex watch. He'd just been out for a posh dinner with his girlfriend. They've got a newborn kid as well, and he was attacked as he tried to fend off the robber. The attacker sped away and still hasn't been caught. And my condolences go out to him and his family, his wife and his kid. But something happening around that part of London, which if you didn't know is one of London's most high-end areas, hotels, high-end shops, restaurants, coffee shops, Sloane Street as well. Incredible amount of tourists stay there, mostly from the Middle East, and they are going to be worried. There's no doubt about that. Their governments, whether it be Qatar, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, they will be putting out travel advisories to their citizens, telling them that they will have to be careful when they come to London. While an incident like this is shocking and a tragedy for the family involved, it is, however, incredibly rare, especially in an area like Knightsbridge. However, if you are thinking twice about coming to London this year, then please think again. London is open, and on the whole, it is a very safe city. Last year, we welcomed over 20 million visitors. And news coming through recently, 3 men have been arrested in relation to that crime. Okay, please keep coming to London and let's get back to this shift. Oh yeah, it's lottery night. Must remember to get myself a ticket. Right. Coffee, turn the payment machine on, turn the meter on, and we're away. I headed down the Uxbridge Road as normal through Shepherd's Bush, and before I knew it, I was at the Fulham Park roundabout, and well, we know what's around the corner, don't we? The Hilton Kensington. Yep, I pulled in. There were 2 cabs on the rank, but they were pulling off, and before long, I was on point.
Oh, hi, sir.
Are you available to
Yes, sir.
go to Paddington?
Paddington Station, yeah?
Yeah.
No problem.
First job of the day, an old perennial. We're off to Paddersley by left Holland Park Avenue, and then Comply Holland Park roundabout. We'll go north on the West Cross route. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you haven't done already, and hit that notifications button. Okay, Comply West Cross route roundabout, and we will leave by the Westway heading east into town. Yeah, look at that weather. It's gonna be a hot one today. This, if you're picking up at the Hilton Kensington, is by far the quickest way to get to Paddington. Don't go up the Bayswater Road, you're gonna hit 1,000 set of lights. Staying at 30 miles an hour until I get into the left lane for the Westbourne Terrace slip, and then do my queuing until I can get round the bend at the end. Heading south on Westbourne Terrace now. Once Westbourne Terrace opens up into 3 lanes, I'll make sure I get myself into the left lane for the left turn onto Bishopsbridge Road. Get the green light, do the left turn, get up to Bishopsbridge, and then wait for my green light into the station, do a U-turn, set down on left.
Thank you very much, sir. Thanks.
Righty hodl, that is job 1 done. Kensington Hilton to Padders. Now I could rank up here, but to be honest, there's way too many cabs. Even though I've seen Paddington a lot busier, I think I'll take my chances back out on the street. Okay, from there I jumped down around the corner to Eastbourne Terrace along Parade Street, headed up towards the Edgware Road, did a right on the Edgware Road, and hunting for job number 2, well, it was on Edgware Road and I duly picked up. Hi there.
American school, please.
Yep, we're off to the American School, left George Street, and we're going to go left onto Seymour Place. If you didn't know, the American School is on Waverley Place. If you're going to become a cab driver, you will do this job a lot. So pay attention if you're on the knowledge. Left Seymour Place, like I said, cross over the Marylebone Road. Then forward onto Lisson Grove. Pretty straightforward run, to be honest, this one. We're heading north all the time up to St John's Wood Road. We will take a red light there. Be patient and wait for the green. Once we do get the green, we will cross over St John's Wood Road onto Grove End Road. That's where we are now, heading towards St John's Wood. Do a right onto the Grove End Road when we get to the famous Abbey Road crossing, and I will set down on the left.
Receipt, sir.
No, I'm good.
Is that okay?
Thank you
All right.
so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Job number 2. Oh, hello.
Yeah, we're just going round to just past the box office.
And I know it sounds a bit confusing. The box office, well, I'm just round the corner from Lord's Cricket Ground, and it's the first day of the test. That's where they want to go to pick up some tickets. And I think they wanted to pick up a lot of tickets. So basically right from Grove End Road on to Wellington Road. Go all the way down. Now we're going to get forced left on to St George's roundabout here. We've got no choice. Then it's going to be left St John's Wood Road and set down on the left for the tickets. Right, that was just a little job around the corner to St John's Wood Road. It's the cricket today. And those guys wanted to go to the box office because they needed to pick up a lot of tickets. And for my overseas subscribers, if you didn't know, cricket is a very English game. And it can last up to 5 days.
What?
Yes, 5 days. Try getting your head around that. I'll be going to the Oval at the end of this month for one of the India-England tests. So I'm looking forward to that. From there, it's very tempting to go down to Marylebone Station and pick up a job. However, those jobs will all be going to Lord's Cricket Ground, and I would have ended up in a perpetual timeless loop. So headed down Baker Street, North Audley Street, then finally cut out on to Park Lane, Hamilton Place, then on to Piccadilly, where a job was waiting for me at the Sheraton Grand Park Lane, which is on Piccadilly. Riddle me that. Hi there.
Kennington, please, sir.
Kennington?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, hang on. He did say Kennington, didn't he? Well, after a brief chat with my passengers, they actually wanted to go to Paddington and had never heard of Kennington in their lives. So I think the doorman misheard them. Anyway, always best to confirm with the passengers. Left onto Half Moon Street here. Heading to Paddington we are, not Kennington. Left Curzon Street, going west on Curzon Street until we get to South Audley Street. Heading north all the time. Temperature warming up, the heat wave is kicking in. Left into Upper Grosvenor Street, right onto Park Lane, heading towards Marble Arch. Then we're going to do a left and right Cumberland Gate, left Bayswater Road, another perennial here. 2 padders already today, not bad at all. Right onto Hyde Park Street, forward Hyde Park Crescent, and then forward Southwick Street, left Sussex Gardens, right onto Norfolk Place, left Parade Street, and then we'll set down on left for padders. Thank you, sir. Thanks, bye. Job number 4 complete. I'm sure the doorman said Kennington, not Paddington.
Kennington, please.
I'm sure he did. I'll have to look back at the footage, but I'm sure he said Kennington, unless I'm going totally crazy. And I was thinking, what do these Americans want in Kennington? For a minute, I thought they wanted to go to the Oval. Anyway, onwards and upwards to job number 5. Wasn't too sure where to go after this drop-off, so just carried forward, really. I was ambling and bambling around Paddington, forward Craven Road, and then I did Craven Terrace and jumped onto Lancaster Gate, where job number 5 would be waiting for me. And this job would turn out to be Guess the Fare. A job, Lancaster Gate. They normally get work here. Bit of a strange one. Hi there. Liverpool Street Station, yeah. Nice job here. Leave by left Lancaster Gate, left Bayswater Road. We're going to Liverpool Street Station. And I'm thinking, yep, you know what's coming. This, guys, is going to be guess the fare. How much from Lancaster Gate to Liverpool Street Station? I'll give you the rules at the end if you haven't watched this channel before. So forward Bayswater Road. I'm already sorting out the route in my head, and I'm going to use my taxi privilege and just head east all the way down Oxford Street for Bayswater Road. We're going to go forward now onto Marble Arch. This time of the day, not a lot of traffic on Oxford Street, as you can see, and it is clear. So I am making good waves heading east all the time. Now, it's about this point that the passengers inquired how much would it be to Stansted. So these guys were obviously getting the Stansted Express from Liverpool Street, and I said roughly about 170. I'm not too sure about that. Forward Tottenham Court Road here, we're crossing over Forward New Oxford Street. If any cab drivers out there, how much do you think, or how much is it from Lancaster Gate to Stansted Airport? I haven't been there for years. Let me know in the comments below. We're still on New Oxford Street, then forward Bloomsbury Way and forward through the lights there. Right, Red Lion Square, forward Drake, forward Proctor Street, left High Holborn. Heading east into the city, we can see it looming up on the horizon there. Forward High Holborn, then that transitions into Holborn itself. Comply Holborn Circus, leave by Holborn Viaduct. Heading on to Newgate Street now from Holborn Viaduct, then force left into King Edward Street, forward Little Britain, bear round to the right Montague Street, Comply Rotunda, love that word, leave by London Wall, the old Roman London Wall, parts of it still exist there on the left. Keep heading east on the London Wall until we cross over Moorgate and then carry on heading east on the London Wall. Bishopsgate is coming up to our east, but we're not going to make it that far. We're going to do a left onto Old Broad Street. I find it easier to set down on left.
There you go. Lancaster Gate to Liverpool Street Station, and that was Guess the Fare. And if you haven't played Guess the Fare before, well, it's great fun and welcome to the channel. Guess the fare, you have to tell me how much you think it costs to go from point A to point B. In this case, it was Lancaster Gate to Liverpool Street Station. The flagfall starts at £4.20 and then the fare increases by 20 pence pieces, £4.40, £4.60, £4.80 and so on. How much do you think the fare came to? And if you get it spot on, one of these fine woven key rings will be heading its way to you. I'll let you know the winner in the next episode.
And if you can't wait to get your hands on one of these, why not click onto the store button on my YouTube channel where they are available for purchase. If you didn't know, once I get a job to the city, I normally about turn and swiftly head west. I'm not a big fan of the city because of the road restrictions, so I do not hang about there and keep looking for local work. So back towards Fetter Lane, the Strand, and then the Aldwych, where someone at a bus stop was waiting to give me job number 6.
Bus stop on the Aldwych. Someone's asked me if you're available. Hi. Hi there.
Right, leave by left the Aldwych. Now it's time for a right turn onto the Strand, and this is not going to be good. Bang, we hit it. And did we hit it? This is going to be a complete crawl into Trafalgar Square. So, yep, not far Buckingham Palace, but traffic was absolutely awful. I knew there must have been a problem down there around Trafalgar Square. We'll find that out later. So, well, what should we talk about? Oh, I know, I'll tell you a joke, a London-based joke. A friend of mine taught his dog how to play the trumpet on the London Underground. The dog went from barking to tooting in just under an hour. There you go, there's your London-centric joke. Are we at Trafalgar Square yet? I can see it there, look, it's coming up in the distance. There's Nelson on the right, and I can literally smell the water coming out of the fountains on the right. So still limping down towards Trafalgar Square. A job that should have taken about 8 minutes has taken at least double that. Green light around Trafalgar Square, and they bailed out on the left on Cockspur Street so they could run into the park and not miss changing of the guard.
Thanks very much. The Aldwych to Trafalgar Square, bailed out early. Did you enjoy that traffic jam? Job number 6, and that was a ball buster. Just sat in traffic all the way down the Strand. They wanted changing of the guard, which I think they've probably missed, unfortunately. I do not know what's happening around Whitehall, Trafalgar Square and Pall Mall East. It's horrendous. Right, looks like this is where the problem is. Everything's down to one lane.
Basically, when you get something like this down to one lane, one of the main arteries going into Trafalgar Square, well, every artery into Trafalgar Square then gets blocked. Hence the total mayhem around Nelson's Column. Anyway, job number 7 on the left outside the RAC Club. Thank you very much. This is handy indeed.
Want to go to Notting Hill?
Notting Hill Gate?
Yes.
Yep, no problem.
Yes, we are going to Notting Hill Gate, right, St James's Square, leave by King Street. A nice job that gets me out west. Right, St James's Street. Did I go over into Albemarle Street? Yes, I did. Forward over onto Albemarle Street, left Stafford Street, right Dover Street, left Hay Hill, and then right Berkeley Street. Comply Berkeley Square, go past Anna Bells on the left, forward Davis Street, left Mound Street, and then right Carlos Place, left Grosvenor Square, past the new hotel on the right, the converted Rosewood Hotel from the old American Embassy, forward Upper Grosvenor Street. That hotel's not open yet, but not long. Right Park Lane. Head north now towards Marble Arch, left and right. Cumberland Gate, left. Bayswater Road. Head west now on the Bayswater Road, the tree line. Beautiful thoroughfare in the summer, the Bayswater Road, until we get to Lancaster Gate. Wait at the lights here. There were never lights here before. The cycle lanes went in and we could just drive straight through, but not anymore. We have to wait a long time. And then forward Lancaster Gate, forward Bayswater Road, heading at a steady 20 miles an hour past the camera. Speed limiter is on as usual. Heading now towards Notting Hill Gate, past the Russian Embassy on the left. Wait at the lights, get the green. Need a right turn now onto Pembridge Road. Bear left Kensington Park Road. Going to drop them off in the middle of Portobello Road. Right Chepstow Villas. And I will set neatly down on the left once the traffic jam gets out of my way.
Oh, nice job number 7 there. Pall Mall to Portobello Road. I think I will just pop around the corner to avail myself of the public conveniences on Westbourne Grove. Take a little break and I'll see you back in the cab in 30 minutes. Welcome back, and a Charlie job has come through. Broadley Terrace to Fulham. I've done this job before. It's a school run and it's a good little earner. Let's head up there. Broadley Terrace behind Marylebone Station.
I had myself about 15 minutes to get from Notting Hill Gate up to Broadley Terrace, so I headed down the Bayswater Road, around Paddington, crossed over the Marylebone Road, and before I knew it, Broadley Terrace was in front of me. Picked up my passenger, did my right turn onto Herod Avenue, Marylebone Station on the left there. A bit of traffic getting down towards the Marylebone Road. Herod Avenue is used a lot because you have a left and right turn on the Marylebone Road. I'm taking the right turn past the Eye Hospital on the left and then forward onto the Marylebone flyover where I can put my foot down, and before I know it, I'm heading out on the Westway at 30 miles an hour. Get me. Anyway, heading west towards the northern roundabout, that's where I need to jump in the left lane and take the slip on to the West Cross route. Beautiful day. As you can see, things are really hotting up. Aircon is pumping out lots of cold air and it is squeezing my battery life on the mileage. Anyway, comply Holland Park roundabout after the West Cross route, leave by Shepherd's Bush Green. Try and stay in the left lane here as it tends to move a bit quicker. Struggle my way through Shepherd's Bush Green, always plenty of traffic around there. Then left Shepherd's Bush Road, heading south now to the Hammersmith Gyratery or roundabout, whatever you care to call it. If you are driving as a cab driver or you're on the knowledge learning to be a cab driver and you are coming from North London and you want to get to the Fulham Road, the west end of the Fulham Road, Fulham Palace Road end, it's always quicker to get on to the Westway, northern roundabout Shepherd's Bush, and go down the Fulham Palace Road instead of traipsing through the park and jumping onto a million roads and lights that you don't need to do. It's a game of speed for a job like this. Comply Hammersmith roundabout, leave by Fulham Palace Road. Lots of cars and vehicles jostling for position to get into the left lane here. I let lots of people in, of course, because I'm a very generous cabbie. And southbound we go onto the Fulham Palace Road, heading south past Charing Cross Hospital now. We'll pass Charing Cross Hospital and as always things start speeding up. It just seems that the traffic moves a lot quicker after I pass the Charing Cross Hospital, go past the Shell Garage on the right. The limiter is on. This is all 20 miles an hour now, heading towards Putney Bridge, a busy bridge because Hammersmith Bridge has been closed for, well, so many years now. Fortunately, this time of day, traffic isn't bad at all, and I've got a sneaky little bus lane which I jump into left onto the Fulham Road. We are nearly at our destination and are set down on the left.
Nice run, private booking. Let's get on to job number 9. I'm going to head up the Fulham Road and see what I can nab on the street. Currently showing 34 degrees on the dash. I can take a couple of degrees off there because it tends to overestimate the temperature because the front of the vehicle is quite warm. I think that's where the pitot tube or temperature gauge is. And yeah, aircon's on for every job at the moment.
Heading east on the Fulham Road. The Fulham Road is a great road getting into town and for offering up work. And it wasn't long before I was coming close to the Chelsea and Westminster Hospital when someone on the left stuck their arm out and they wanted to go to this place.
Go to Wigmore Street.
Wigmore, yeah, no worries, yeah.
See, I told you, you always get a job on Fulham Road. Anyway, leave on the left Fulham Road, heading in an easterly direction. I'm already planning the route in my head. Past Chelsea and Westminster Hospital on the right and just keep heading towards the Brompton Road. But we're not going to be jumping onto the Brompton Road. So forward easterly direction, Fulham Road coming up to the Marsden on the right, past the Marsden. And then we will pass Sydney Street going straight over Sydney Street. Lunchtime traffic proving a little bit sticky, I must say. Anyway, that's Sydney Street. I'm not too sure whether I'm actually on the Brompton Road now. Some people tell me in the comments below, have we hit the Brompton Road yet? I need to do a right turn onto Walton Street because that's going to cut me through. So it's a right and left Walton Street. This is a great little cut through to get me up to Pont Street. Wait at the lights here, do a right turn onto Pont Street. Traffic is heavy because guess what? They're digging up the road again at Pont Street, right next to the Green Hut, the Cabby Green Hut. Can you believe it? I think that's been dug up 3 times in the last 4 months. Finally get through that. Then up towards the Harry Hotel on the right, we're going to jump onto Chesham Place, get thrown out onto Belgrave Square, all the way around. I want to get to the 2 o'clock corner, hit the traffic here. I'm thinking about, shall I do Chapel Street? But sometimes that can be a problem. You can go down to Chapel Street, cut through onto Grosvenor Place, only to be met by a huge queue of traffic. And unless they're cabbies and they can all jump in the bus lane, you're going to be a bit stuffed. Anyway, head up Grosvenor Crescent past the Peninsula on the right. Cafe open, wonderful cup of coffee there. Let's get on to Hyde Park Corner. Comply Hyde Park Corner, stay in the left lane because I need to go into that bus lane just around the corner here on Park Lane, which is going to let me undercut all the traffic on the right, as you can see. Anyway, bus lane on the left. The traffic does go down to 1 lane, I think now. There's some roadworks going on in the middle of Park Lane, so squeeze through that. And head up towards Brookgate for my right turn onto Upper Brook Street, cross over the red light when it turns green, which it just has, and then forward into Grosvenor Square we go. Do a left here onto Duke Street and head north towards Oxford Street, cross over the red lights, and the lady has already indicated she wants me to drop her down on the right.
Thank you. Ooh. Job number 9. And breaking news, another Charlie job has come through. Cornwall Gardens to Heathrow, which gets me into double figures, job number 10. And that kind of would be it for me. Once I get there, I'll decide whether I'm going to come back in and do some more because the streets are kind of pumping today and there's a lot more out there. But I'll see how it gets on. It's already been a good day so far. We'll just head to Cornwall Gardens and get the 215 and do that to, I'm not too sure what terminal it is. And then I'll decide after I arrive at Heathrow whether it's worth coming back into town or not and carry on working.
The booking was for 3 p.m, so I had plenty of time to get to my pickup destination, headed down Park Lane and then through Knightsbridge and then headed past the Park Tower Casino, the place where the awful stabbing occurred on Wednesday night. And it was very sad to see All the flowers being laid outside in memory of the poor victim that lost his life on that night. A very sobering sight, that's all I can say. Anyway, let's get on to what will probably be the final job of the day. The actual pickup point was north of Cornwall Gardens, a little place called Kingsley Mews, and I had to enter through Victoria Road. No problem. Lovely little end to the day for me here.
Right, I have arrived. Next stop, Terminal 5, Heathrow. Okay, we'll head to Terminal 5, yeah? Yeah. Okay, no problem.
Okay, let's wiggle our way out of this part of London. Forward Stamford Road, left St Albans Grove, right Ansdell Street, forward left Thackeray Street, right Kensington Square, forward Young Street, and we've arrived onto Kensington High Street. Left turn past Whole Foods on the left. In a westerly direction, I'm going to take a left turn now onto Wright's Lane. Right and left at the hotels, Cheniston Gardens, left on to Marlowe's Road, right Lexham Gardens, all the way to the end in a westerly direction until we get to Earls Court Road. Need to edge over to the right side here. That's what I need to do to get my right turn onto the Airport Road, which is the West Cromwell Road. Wait for a green light, get that green light, do a right turn, and we are on the Airport Road, starting off with the West Cromwell Road. Get up onto the flyover, going over the railway tracks at Earls Court here. I don't think this flyover's got a particular name. The next one has, though. And then we'll be heading up towards Barons Court Station, dropping down onto the Tailgarth Road. Need to be in the right lane here, because a lot of naughty traffic on North End Road gets stuck in the junction. So forward Tailgarth Road, heading in a westerly direction, vaulted up onto the Hammersmith flyover. Descending now down the Hammersmith flyover onto the Great West Road, Fuller's Brewery coming up on the left, and the traffic is building, as you can see, which makes me think, probably I might not come back into town after this job and just call it a day. Heading towards the Hogarth roundabout, named after a very famous painter. Get to the Hogarth roundabout. I always stay on the inside lane here. Tends to move a lot better than the other two. Traffic is looking a little bit ominous, actually. Sorry about my hand coming into shot there. And I'm thinking, something's going on, because we normally get freed up this side of the Hogarth roundabout, Hogarth Lane, then Great West Road, and then Ellesmere Road. Yes, this is not looking good. I'm thinking to myself, have a look at the map, Mark, just to see what's going on ahead on the Chiswick flyover, because that's where every vehicle seems to break down. And sure enough, I saw a little red broken down vehicle sign on the map. Always the Chiswick flyover. Anyway, so we have to wrestle into the lanes here, and we have to queue, and the aircon is on because things are really heating up and things are slowing down, and I'm thinking to myself, how long is this going to take? So vehicles break down on the Chiswick flyover regularly. There is no lay-by, there is no hard shoulder, so you feel the pinch. Everyone has to queue up into one lane and get past them. Saw a lot of vehicles already today with heating problems. Got past him and we're off. Hallelujah! Heading over the Chiswick flyover. Going to descend now onto the M4. See the national speed limit signs, and then I can put my foot down and start heading towards Terminal 5 at a steady 70 miles every hour. So on motorway 4 now, and westerly direction, just keep going. It's a good run. Thanks for joining me today, folks. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content, and leave any comments down below and hit that thumbs up button. They all help. Don't forget, guess the fare. There are now prizes, and don't forget you can buy the fine woven keyrings on the store button on the YouTube site. Okay, left onto the M25. We'll leave by the Terminal 5 slip. Now comply Terminal 5 roundabout. Leave by Terminal Approach. Heading up onto the ramp now, and before long I will be setting down on the left for Terminal 5.
And there we have it, Terminal 5 with a breakdown on the Chiswick flyover, and there always seems to be a breakdown on the Chiswick flyover. Well, I'm done. 10 jobs, no point in going back in now. Okay, 10 jobs today. I got the Heathrow right at the end, so that kind of made me think, right, I might as well pack it in because I've had a good day and I live in West London, and instead of trudging all the way back into town, well, it just kind of made sense. Okay, leave it any comments down below, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button, notifications, all of that stuff. don't forget, guess the fare. You can win one of these if you guess the fare from, where was it today? Lancaster Gate to Liverpool Street Station. Until next time, see you back here.